Hi, I'm Rachel Usher from Usher & Co. Welcome to our North Yorkshire project. Come in and have a look. When we first started working with these clients, one of the things that I really wanted to understand was what did they want their home to feel like? And one of the things that was said over and over again was that they wanted it to feel warm and homely. The entrance to your home is the most important room in terms of setting the tone of the rest of the space. With an open plan kitchen dining space, you always have the opportunity to create somewhere to sit, relax, watch TV while still be connected to what's going on in the kitchen, and this was that opportunity. If you're stood at the kitchen side of the room, this wall is your view, and so we wanted to make sure that not only did it accommodate the TV, but at the same time not make the TV the dominant thing, so we chose dark materials for the joinery piece. We also wanted it to look like a nice wall with a curated selection of art and accessories. And this space really is to hang out when somebody's cooking dinner. It's the casual living space that we know the family really wanted, and they wanted to enjoy being together and being connected. Originally, the clients had a rectangular table, and sometimes a rectangular table can create almost a divide in a space, whereas a round table, if your space is wide enough, it's a lot more sociable. And also when you walk into this space, you didn't have that kind of barrier that a rectangular table can sometimes give. We wanted to specify a really gorgeous light fitting, and particularly like this one, it's got a beautiful alabaster aspect to the bottom, and on the top of the alabaster there's a rib detail, and we applied a little bit of that detail in other light fittings around the kitchen so that that subtle nod to that finish exists elsewhere, and it helps to keep things feel like they belong together as a family of fittings really. One of the things that the clients explained to us was that they like to entertain. They're very sociable people, and they wanted this garden room to be the preserve of their entertaining space. We know that the client likes his decks and has a lot of LP vinyl albums, and so we designed a garden room to accommodate the social element and also for the client to be able to play the decks after some drinks or dinner and be part of the space. First thing we wanted to do was create a really moody space, and so we went with this really kind of sagey green, and we applied a wallpaper to the ceiling that just has a little lustre but it isn't dominating, and we carried that colour through the drapery, the walls and the detailing on the woodwork. We know that they have a large group of friends and they wanted something really special, so we introduced this really large oval green marble table, which is a real feature of the space, and it has two bronze bases which are stunning. We had bespoke chairs made that are the kind of chairs you can sit in and be comfortable for a long time. We know that this has been well used. We know that this was the Christmas dinner room and that they've had lots of parties, and I can just feel the sense of the energy of their clients, their personalities and all of their friends in here, and it is about creating a room that allows them to do that in a way that they want to engage with their friends. As we built on the relationship with the clients, we began to understand that their lifestyle was that on a weekend, perhaps a Sunday, they would like somewhere to sit, read the papers, have a drink and relax. I know that they really love this fire, and they didn't want this room to feel like somewhere that they watch TV. So we designed this space with the use of different materials and tactility, and instead of putting a piece of art or a TV above the fireplace, we decided instead to apply a tile, which I think really adds a little bit of difference and a point of interest to the space. We knew that they would listen to music in here, and so we wanted to create a joinery wall that allowed us to display things that were quite eclectic and curated, but also somewhere that they could have the turntables and just put a record on and just relax and really feel at home and chill out a little bit. So this joinery wall was designed with that in mind, and the benefit of that wall is as you walk into the space, that's the wall that you see first, and so it really does set the tone for the overall look and feel of the room. We know that the clients do a lot of conference calls, and so we have a media wall here where we've treated it similarly to other rooms in the home, used a really muted palette and really interesting wallpaper as a backdrop. And they've had conference technology introduced, so this can be a TV or it can be for conference calls. And if you're on a conference call, one of the things that you want to think about is, what does the space look like behind you? So we used that wall as opposed to that wall to display artwork, similar to the artwork they've got in the rest of their home, so it feels quite curated and eclectic, and a really dynamic, articulated wall light just to highlight it. But at the same time, it just feels like a room in the house. It doesn't feel businesslike or an office. We've applied the same thoughtful consideration to the walls and used, again, a natural palette of materials that has a relationship to the colours that we've seen in other rooms of the house. We wanted to create a master bedroom for our clients that was really luxurious, layered, but somewhere calm, and somewhere that they felt that, was really designed with them in mind. We wanted to create, something different for the headboard to anchor against. So we designed this joinery elevation on that wall, introducing, though, different materials. So a textured wallpaper in the first section adjoining the headboard. One of the nice things that you can do when working with a textured wallpaper and you have a switch or a socket is to use a clear switch plate. It's just that subtle difference that stops the sockets and switches, really standing out. And it just gives a little bit of softness to it. Having a rug on a carpet is something that we wanted to do, so that you get out of bed and you've got that really heavily textured, quite lustrous feeling of the rug beneath your feet. When we were working on the principal bedroom, one of the things that we wanted to consider was creating a space that appeals to both aspects. And so we did introduce some soft blush tones, but at the same time we introduced some muted greens and obviously the rust colour of the headboard. So on the one hand it's a little masculine but not too much so, but there's a little bit of femininity but not too much so. And so you get that nice balance and you appeal to both people. There was a piece of artwork that the clients had already bought. It's a Run DNC poster we wanted to try and include in this space, and it's black and white, and so we introduced this joinery unit with the wallpaper at the back because it all feels that it belongs, and it's got that kind of slightly graffiti-esque feel to it. So we just wanted somewhere that was relevant now, relevant in 5 years, 7 years. We know a little bit about both of the boys and what they're interested in. We know that they like to collect things and display things themselves, so having lots of open shelving means that actually they can personalise it and introduce their Lego and things that they really like. We wanted to create a room that will grow and evolve with them and allow them to change as they get different interests and they want to display things differently and use it differently as they grow up. And I think that's what we've achieved with both of their bedrooms. So on the very first day that we met these new prospective clients, we came to the house and we had a conversation about what they might like and their design aspirations, and the client showed us this famous fast food restaurant sign. It wasn't on the wall at that point, it was just propped up in a corner, and they told us the story about how they'd bought this sign. And so we thought, okay, we need to work with this, how are we going to introduce it? And so we brought it up into the boys' entertainment room, which is a really fun space. The whole point of this space was not to overly do it. It was to be lived in, to pick popcorn off the sofa and, have a big pack of Doritos while watching a movie, and not to be too precious. But we still wanted to create that slightly immersive cinematic experience. So we went really dark on the ceilings and we applied this really dark wallpaper, taking in all the joinery. And we still wanted to make it feel cinematic with the artwork, but not too predictable, not a movie print. But we know from speaking to the family that they do use it in exactly that way. It's about living in a home and just having everyday moments in it. When we're building our relationships with the client, we go on a journey with them and we get to know them. Over that time, we understand them as people, and For our clients to come back to us and to explain moments that have happened in the spaces that we've designed for them, that's what we want to create. We want to create memories and experiences. When we know that a client has used their entertainment room or they've used their lounge in a certain way and they've had a party, that is a measure of what we've brought to them, the way that they interact with their home and their family and their friends and the memories that they're building.